Richard Tice. Welcome, Richard.
Very good afternoon, Kevin. It's a beautiful day. Great to be with you, back in the studio.
Yeah, this is like a second home to you. You used to do shows here, so Richard knows the terrain. Well, let me ask you first. There's a lot to get through here, but I do need to get your response to what Kemi Badenoch said. She's told the people of Clacton, you deserve better than Farage. A couple of things to say about that. Well, if you think that, Kemi, why don't you field a candidate?
Bingo. I mean, the cheek of it. She basically said to the good residents of Clacton, you don't deserve a Tory candidate. And now she's saying to them, you don't deserve your current Member of Parliament, Nigel Farage, who you elected just a couple of years ago. I mean, the whole thing is extraordinary. It's as though she's now getting sort of second-hand regret. I mean, just beyond words, frankly.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing to say. I know we've got a lot of very important things to talk about, but a couple of other businesses to get done. Rupert Lowe, we're going to cover this story in a little while. I'm just wondering whether you think this might be a tipping point. Rupert loves to sort of dally with the extreme right and say, oh, look, aren't I tough? Look what I'll do. I'll sort Britain out. I'll, deport virtually everyone who lives here. But do you think it was a tipping point on Radio 4 on the Today programme when he was asked by Nick Robinson, the presenter? Well, look, let's have a quick listen.
Are you aware that, by the definitions used in that particular report, King Charles is not a white Briton? Do you think he is a white Briton?
Well, many people have different interpretations of that, Nick. I mean, we can split hairs, but I think...
Well, you're not splitting hairs. Do you think the monarch of this country is a white Briton?
It's quite clear, and I think most British people, if you speak to them, would agree. And that is why
King Charles a white
Britain's
Briton?
membership is growing very fast. And your listeners are dropping equally fast because you don't reflect actually what's happening.
Why don't you answer the question now we've got you on?
You try and whitewash all of the things that are happening.
Is King Charles a white Briton?
Climate change, you peddle DEI, you peddle all of the malign agenda, which British people have got bored of.
Right.
So
they're bored of people ignoring the questions, Mr. Lowe.
So, just to put that in context, Richard, Rupert Lowe has defined the concept of being British, that not only must you be born in Britain, but both your parents should be born in Britain. Then you're a British citizen. And, of course, as Nick Robinson was pointing out there, that excludes the King, because his dad, Prince Philip, was born in Greece. Now, not answering the question, is King Charles British, I think might be a bit of a tipping point for Mr. Lowe, don't you?
I was wondering whether that interview was conducted on April Fool's Day, because I think it was a new low in the sort of...
A new low for Lowe?
a new low for Lowe, because, I mean, just the absurdity of not being able to ask a very basic question about the monarch of our country. A man who has spent his whole life giving service to this country and patently, obviously, is British to his fingertips.
Shall we go through how Rupert Lowe should have handled this? Richard Tice, Deputy Leader of Reform UK. Is King Charles, the monarch of this country, a white British citizen?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much. There you go, Rupert. If you're watching, a textbook lesson for how to answer that question. Unbelievable. People won't forget that. I think he thought he was being clever there, but he was being the reverse, I'll tell you that. Right, let's get on now. You've got some news, haven't you?
Well, I've got a couple of bits of news, yes. The important bit of news is that Nigel and I believe that the National Crime Agency have committed multiple criminal offences, and
by leaking,
they leaked copies and details of separately of individual bank statements, bank transfers, details of conversations with bank managers from different banks, different bank managers, different accounts, certainly in my case, and we've had enough of it. We gave them about 5 weeks to investigate internally. They have basically refused to do so. They've begged for more time. We think they're playing for time, and we've said we're done with it. So today we have submitted High Court proceedings, a writ against the National Crime Agency, 2 separate writs actually, for leaking confidential information, and we will be seeking an apology and damages for what they've done. They have literally, I mean, this is the most senior crime agency in the country, have themselves committed criminal offences, and they haven't denied it, and they haven't come back to us in 5 weeks. We've had enough of it. We're suing them.
So you've launched the proceedings today.
And look, these things with the joys of litigation. It'll take a very long time. But this tells the NCA we're not to be messed with. They might have thought we could be messed with when they leaked our confidential bank transfers and details of our own bank accounts and bank individual transactions. Well, we're saying to them, actually, that's not how you do things. You're specifically not allowed to do that. That's the only basis on which they're allowed to see all our banking information.
And you also keep getting in trouble, don't you, with the Parliamentary Standards Committee? You failed to declare that you went to Israel, and therefore apparently...
I did declare in my register of interest that I went to Israel last September, which was a very educational trip. It was when there were still hostages. And but some individual who I know who it is, I've not yet said who it is, who I believe is a anti-Israeli, anti-Semite, he reported me to the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner because in a debate about UK democracy and politics, he decided I should have declared that I went to Israel 9 months ago. The whole thing is utterly absurd. Supposedly, I'm now not allowed to defend myself. So in other words, I'm supposed to sort of sit back and wait while the BBC do a push notification at the very moment we're just doing a press conference. That's a coincidence, isn't it? I mean, the whole thing's just bonkers. It really is. I'm literally being investigated for standing up against anti-Semitism.
And aren't you in trouble about your birthday as well?
Well, this is... I seem to be in a lot of trouble at the moment, Kevin.
It's great getting him in the studio, isn't it? Go on.
So yes, you're going to read... not that I would ever recommend people to buy The Observer, but The Observer are concerned that Isabel and I had a joint birthday party in December 2024, a couple of months after our actual birthday.
Right.
We invited lots of people. It was a lovely event. We, in the spirit of sharing the love, the festive spirit, we even invited a representative from The Guardian who came along. But apparently they think that was a naughty thing to do, and I should have declared my own birthday party that I paid for myself. And the whole thing is just...
Declare to who? Declare to who?
I don't know whether to have to declare it to God, to Father Christmas, to the Speaker. I mean, the whole thing is absolutely bonkers. It shows how desperate they are, that they want to smear absolutely anything, and they are now they're literally going around who they think may have been the guests at the party, saying, did Tice charge you for drinks? Was he trying to make a profit at his own drinks party? I mean, seriously, your beloved listeners and viewers, seriously, this is what's going on in the smear campaign against Tice. I just laugh myself to sleep every night.
Well, I've been to several of your parties, and I can assure you, folks, he does buy the drinks. But seriously, let's be serious about this for a second, because it does seem to me that a picture is building up, that there's some kind of campaign, organised campaign to smear, to undermine you and Nigel and Reform UK.
Yeah, there is a politically motivated smear campaign by the establishment, various parts of it, who are utterly terrified how well Reform did just 2 months ago in the May elections, despite everything they tried to do beforehand. They'd sort of said we were running the councils badly, and then the council elections come up second year in a row where we absolutely smashed it. And so now they're saying, what else can we do? Oh, let's break the law through various parts of the institutions of the state that we all pay for and your listeners pay for through their taxes, in order to try and smear and discredit these people. Well, I would suggest that they've picked upon the wrong people.
I think so. Listen, let's move on to wider issues. Now, we've had 3 nights in a row, serious disturbances, serious trouble in Thetford. It's up in Norfolk, isn't it?
Yes.
And these are migrant protesters. We don't condone violence, of course, but they are very upset, in their view, at having more and more houses of multiple occupation full of asylum seekers imposed on them. And this is a picture that's happening all over the country. Now, we can sit here going, oh, that's terrible, oh, they bit the copper's ears. That is terrible. What's going on is wrong and we don't condone it. But just to say these are thugs causing trouble, I think, is to misrepresent what's going on. What I'm trying to get at here, Richard, in terms of this serious unrest, 3 nights in a row, protests about the migrants being foisted upon that community, do you fear that we may see more and more of this around the country?
Well, we've already seen protests against lawful protests, peaceful protests around the country, whether it's Epping, whether it's Crowborough, various other places, against the imposition of hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of illegals. That's who they are. They've illegally invaded and broken into our country, falsely seeking asylum. They came from a safe country, therefore it is a false application by definition. And they in their hundreds and their thousands, they are literally, in a sense, much larger in number than the locality where they're being placed, whether it's a village or whether it's a small town, and people not unreasonably are anxious and concerned about that and lawfully expressing that concern. Now, as you quite rightly said, as a democracy, we welcome lawful, peaceful protest. That's literally part of the job of a democracy. We never condone any violence whatsoever. But I would also just respectfully ask this question, and I'll get attacked by the woke lefties. As I understand, as has always been the case, this started as a lawful, peaceful protest and then seems to be hijacked by someone. The question is, who's hijacked it? And I tell you what, I suspect there is a greater chance that it is some Antifa-style far-left thugs who are deliberately trying to stir up and infer that they are actually from the extreme right in order to portray anybody who expresses concern about illegal immigration as bigots and racists and thugs. That, I suspect, is a much greater than a 50-50 chance of what is really going on here.
Good point. Now, let's examine, though, the reason for this protest and other protests. I think that people in this country, and this is why I fear more and more social unrest, people in this country increasingly believe that our Prime Minister, this government, just aren't listening to them. Their primary concern is the number one issue in this country that people want sorted out is the migrant crisis. We have a Prime Minister who, A, is on holiday, and B, doesn't want to talk about it anyway. So we all go, please, could you stop the boats? Please, can you sort this escalating migrant crisis? This country is getting infested with more and more illegal foreigners, and you're telling us, oh, don't worry, I'm going to bring you a new social care system and give you millions of mayors.
It is pretty extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, literally, he's been trying to get the top job of Prime Minister for the last 15 years. He tries twice to become an elected leader of the Labour Party, fails, so then he had to basically impose himself via a coup. He works for a couple of weeks, says, oh, I'm a bit tired with this new job, so I'll head off on holiday. Oh, by the way, I'll stop at the White Cliffs of Dover on my way over on holiday. I mean, you couldn't make it up.
Oh, no.
And he says, this might be an issue, folks. We'll sort it out when I come back from holiday. Well, actually, since he's become Prime Minister, well over 2,000 people have invaded our country in small boats.
Yeah, let's not beat about the bush. He doesn't care about the migrant crisis.
Of course he doesn't care.
Nor did
He's never spoken about it before, to my knowledge, until he literally rocked up at the White Cliffs of Dover on his way to holiday. It's like he took a little sort of a rest, like stopping at a service station.
Off, yeah, service station. Yeah,
just couldn't make it up.
Yeah, I was rather hoping. I think that image of him standing on the White Cliffs of Dover will come back to haunt him. So no marks to his comms team. He should have been a bit more careful about that. But I was kind of hoping, that in the background we might see some boats coming across the channel. Didn't quite happen, but
not quite.
Listen, Richard, I can't let you go without getting your view on the preposterous professor, Jason Arday. Now, we can all laugh about his ludicrous lies, which got more and more fantastical. In the end, I what I feel about Jason Hardy is he's a troubled young man who needs help. But the story here for me is all the institutions, the Cambridge University, the BBC, the police, charities, the publishing industry, who all, I hesitate to say got taken in by his lies, who all wanted to believe him. This is a DEI catastrophe, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, of course it is. And they've all basically been found out. In particular, one of supposedly the finest universities in the world has been proven to be one of the wokest, most incompetent universities in the world. And people at Cambridge, they need to be held accountable.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, to tell you what, when we do things wrong, they want us to be held accountable. Well, if they want to retain the reputation of a supposedly world-leading university, someone's got to carry the can. I don't know whether that is the Vice-Chancellor or the person who dishes out professorships. But, I mean, what is a professorship of sociology? Yeah. I mean, honestly, it really is ridiculous. And I don't know whether it was sort of just the final sort of icing on the tea cake, but apparently his resignation letter was
written by
AI.
It was.
Is he a real person or is he an AI person? I don't know.
Well, it's Simon & Schuster, the publishing house, who are about to unleash his autobiography. It's called Great and Unusual Things. They say they're still going to release it. Now, where do you think they'll file it? In the fiction or non-fiction section?
It'll probably go in the non-binary section. Sorry, that's very rude. I'll get in more trouble. But seriously,
both in trouble.
I mean, the whole thing, you can't make this stuff up. It'll probably make the book a bestseller. Lots of people say, how can I copy this bloke getting to such an esteemed position with potentially at risk so little talent? I don't know. He might be a genius. Who knows?
Indeed. Listen, Richard, I think he's a kind of a genius. I've got a reluctant respect for him, but it's all these people who got taken in by him. Not, I think, because they're idiots, but because they wanted to be taken in by him. Cambridge wanted the kudos of being able to boast, oh, look, we've got the youngest ever black professor. You know what they say?
Go woke, go broke.
Go woke, go broke. This is a story of why wokery, the woke mind virus, sends otherwise sensible and intelligent people clinically insane. That's what's happened here. It's the woke mind virus sending people mad. Richard, it is fantastic to have you in the studio.